Welcome back to the Be a Man podcast, where we encourage men to be better men. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Be a Man podcast, where we encourage you to be better men. I want to thank you for joining me this evening as we begin to get ready for Christmas season. It is a truly special time of year. There's a lot of things going on. I've been busy. You've been busy. It's just how it goes. Family stuff, church stuff, community things that we all like to do, going and seeing lights with the kids. We've been battling some sickness in the house lately, so you know how that goes. It's and with 4 kids, one gets it, they all get it. It just makes for a very long couple of weeks, but that's just how it goes. So tonight, I want to come at you as you're listening to this. I want to tell you I'm thankful for you. I appreciate you, and I want us to start thinking about the new year. Christmas is coming up. I hope that you have made plans to make it enjoyable for you, for your family, for your kids, for your neighbors, all those around you. I've been posting some, tips, some different things to do for this time of year that I think will be helpful for you and your neighbors, and just to kind of encourage others. There's a lot of things going on in this world that make it seem awfully dark, awfully hopeless at times, but when we can share a little light, share a little love, share a little gift, it helps people remember and see that there's more than what is just, they might read on the news, what they might see on the television, and there's a lot of negative right now. I know that. I've been kind of discouraged with some of the news that's out there, just things being pushed, this marriage bill act, or lack of marriage bill act that was just passed. I'm not a huge fan of that for many different reasons, and it's not because I hate anyone or that I'm bigoted or homophobic, which I was called recently, which I find humorous, always coming from somebody who has no clue who I am, or has had one single conversation with me. I just find that humorous. They always say don't read the comment section, and that's awfully true, because you get called just about anything, and it's people who have no clue who you are. They've never met you. They've never tried to have a conversation with you, and that just seems to be where we're at right now in especially America, but it seems like around the world as well. We just make assumptions, and we don't find out if those things are true or not, or if there's any evidence to them. We just take it and run with it, and it's a form of slander. It's a form of gossip. It's poor communication that many have just accepted as the way it should be, and it's just wrong. Quite simply, many were taught for many years, many in this country and many families in this country, and something I've been trying to teach my kids is that you don't just assume something and run with it. You try to find out facts. You try to find out the truth. If you've heard something about somebody, you go, if you think it's serious, you go and talk to them. You confront them about it and try to find out, is there any validity to any of this? And sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. And sometimes you find out that the whole thing was just blown way out of proportion, or sometimes you get to know somebody and you find out that it was just, it wasn't what you thought it would be, or that person's not like what you thought they would be. And we need some of that back in society. And I think a lot of things, we think of Mary and Joseph and the Christmas story, and many of you know it. If not, go read Luke 2. You can read the whole story. Once again, I encourage you to do it with your kids as well, but or with your family. Maybe it's been a long time since you've read it, but you've been following along, and maybe you just have an interest in what I say Christmas is all about. Many say, and many have believed for over 2,000 years, Christmas is all about, and that is Christ. And a lot of things could have been said about Mary and Joseph, She's pregnant. Joseph, they weren't married yet. There's probably a lot of stigmas that could have been placed on her, and I'm sure she was scared about that in the beginnings. And she had these fears that what people might say or why she would be worthy to do any of this, to carry the God man, the Christ, the Messiah, the Savior of the people, of her people, and all those things. And God, he knew these things, and she knew that she would have these fears. And what did he do? He sent Gabriel to comfort her and to remind her of who was in control, and that he would be with her the whole step of the way. And then even on top of that, he gave her her cousin Elizabeth, who was also pregnant and who would have a child as well. And they stayed together. They walked through that journey together as they were both pregnant and experiencing those fears. And there's a lot more to that story, and you'll have to go read it yourself. But I think it's a good reminder that often we need to get to know people before we make some assumptions about them. And sometimes there's things you can tell about people right away because they just kind of lay it all out there. But then there's oftentimes we make assumptions that are just simply false. And if we took the time to get to know somebody, I think it would help in resolving a lot of those preconceived notions or conflicts we often have with others. But as we think about Christmas this week, I want to encourage you to make the most of it. Go and enjoy time with the family. Go and enjoy a good meal. I'm probably smoking a turkey, even though I'm trying to talk them into brisket or a beef tenderloin or something like that. But it's probably going to be a turkey. But we're expecting quite a bit of blizzard-like conditions or whatever. It'll probably change before Thursday when this is supposed to hit us in the Midwest. But just enjoy it. Enjoy the time with one another. Enjoy the time. Just hopefully you'll get some relaxation just a little bit over that time. Hopefully you can just enjoy that time with your family. And don't forget to take some time to be thankful as well for all the things that you have. There's a lot of people this time of year who are suffering from loss, depression. Maybe they just found out they have cancer. Maybe they've lost a loved one this year. There's just so many things that can be very disheartening this time of year. And I want to encourage you to go and be an encouragement and enjoy those times with those you love, and look to encourage someone else. Look to be a bright spot in their day. Look to be that positive note that they probably need right now, and you can be that individual. Maybe that's not your cup of tea. Maybe that's not who you normally are known as, but maybe that's exactly who you need to be right now, is that encouragement for somebody else. And as we get through Christmas, as we deal with all those things, I just want to encourage you to be again thinking about what this new year is going to look like for you. I'm going to start posting after Christmas some thoughts for you to think about, some goals to have for 2023. But I just want you to think about, what are you going to do to prepare spiritually for this coming year? What are your goals to be learning, or to grow in your faith, or grow in your scriptural knowledge, or any of those things? Like, how are you hoping to grow closer to God this coming year? And we need to be thinking about those, because if we just think, well, it'll just happen if it happens, it probably won't happen. We all know that, right? It probably won't happen in any way, and we'll get to the end of 2023 and we'll wonder, where'd that go? Where'd all that time go that I was hoping to accomplish this last year? Right? And so make it a priority. There's tons of reading plans. There's tons of things you can look at. Hit me up if you want some ideas or some recommendations. I'd love to do those as I'm thinking about these things myself. Next, think about what your goals are physically. There's probably people listening all over the spectrum when it comes to physical health. And I want to encourage you, maybe it's a lifting plan. Maybe it's just walking 30 minutes a day. Maybe it's something else that you enjoy doing. Find something you enjoy. A lot of guys that listen and I follow are into this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now, and it looks very enticing. I wish we had one closer and I'd go try it out. But just, whatever you enjoy, just commit to it. And when you hit the wall, push through the wall. Don't try to go around it. Don't try to go over it. Don't try to, come up with some excuse why you can't get through it. Smash through the wall. break through it, keep going. It's that discipline that you need that will help you get through this time physically. But make a plan. And there's a lot of guys, I've interviewed a few, I've had them on here, but there's others as well that I'm going to have coming up this new year that can help you make those goals and make them attainable for you. But next, how are you going to prepare mentally? What are your goals and areas to grow mentally? And I think emotionally is a part of that as well. How are you going to face hard times? How are you going to get through those times that you maybe don't want to get through? How are you going to deal with that person who maybe said something bad to you, or made fun of you, or or said something that you just made you angry, you didn't like? How are you going to control or make a plan to better control your emotions and your mental state this year? Next, how are you going to plan on growing as far as learning? There's a lot of books out there. There's a lot of education courses out there that are totally free for you. And what is going to your plan to grow in this year? Maybe pick 2-3 things that you just really want to grow in and learn more about this coming year. Make a plan. Write those down and find out what are some resources I can use or find to help me reach those goals. And then maybe try a new hobby this year. What's something you maybe have seen but you never really tried, but you're saying, you know what, I'm going to try that this year. Maybe it's learning how to smoke some meat. It's something I enjoyed doing this last year and just kind of took as a pet hobby and said, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to do this and make it taste really, really good. And my family attests that it does taste a lot better than it did a year ago. When my wife, I'm grateful that she got me a pellet grill, and it's been fun for the whole family, and everybody seems to love it, and they like helping with the spices and the seasonings and the rubs and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. We made it to a big family thing. And what's going to be that hobby? Maybe it's welding, maybe it's metalwork, maybe it's archery, maybe it's boxing, or the Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Whatever it is, have a hobby, have a goal for this year, and make a plan to attain it. We could go down the list. What's something else that you are looking forward to? Maybe it's more time with your family. Maybe it's how to better improve at work. What are some things you could do to be more productive? Maybe there's some things that you need to say no to that would help you be more productive. Maybe it's just that you need to stop procrastinating so much and just get the job done. Maybe it's you need to be a more positive person in the work environment, and that you can be that example to others that they want to attain and strive to be like. What are some of those goals you can be like more for this new work year? It's things like this that we just need to have a plan, and I want to encourage you to start planning out as well as you look to better yourself, better your family, and become a better man this coming season. So there's just a few things for you to think about. I have an interview coming out this Thursday. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's with a now friend, Dr. Josh Bice. He runs the G3 Ministries. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. He's a pastor. He's into a lot of things I think a lot of guys on here would be into: hunting, guns, exercise, all those kind of cool things too. And we just sit down, we have a very good conversation just about manhood from a biblical perspective, some other topics that we just kind of get into, and it's just a really good, encouraging conversation. Some tips for Christmas, how to make the most of it with your family this year, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. And then next week, I'm hoping to have one on Tuesday with my wife, but then also on Thursday, I have an interview with a cartoonist. Some of you may know Gary Varvel, who wrote for years for the Indianapolis Star in Indianapolis, Indiana, and now is kind of doing his own thing. And it's I think you're really going to like that conversation, because most people, they probably go into it thinking it's going to be a lot about the cartoons, a lot about his job. I mean, he's won tons of awards for his cartoon work, and we don't talk really much about that at all. And I think you're going to really enjoy that conversation as we really got into it. And this new year, there's tons more content coming out, and I'm thankful for you for being beside me along this journey, and we're just getting started. I have a lot of amazing plans for this coming year, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you, and I'm excited to try some new things as I'm getting into them and planning and trying to get the work in to get those accomplished. And I'm looking forward to growing this thing with you and it becoming a resource for you to share with other men who might be encouraged by what we're doing here. And our society, our culture is facing a manhood pandemic, an epidemic, if you will. That is the true epidemic of our society right now. And we need men to step up, and anything I can do, anything you can do to help encourage that, we need to be spreading the word. We need to be encouraging this manhood from a biblical perspective, and just different areas to it that will make a man a better man. And that's what my whole goal is, to encourage you to be a better man. So one of those ways you can do that is go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm on TikTok now. You can go find me on Twitter, Instagram. That's probably the best place to find me. And there's some other resources. If you just go to that Linktree app in my description, you'll find all that info, and you can go follow. Please like, please subscribe, please leave reviews, please leave messages, all those things everybody says. But most of all, what I would love for you to do is go share it with a friend. That means more than anything. And I'm hoping to grow this, spread this, and not for me, but it's a resource for you, to encourage you to be a better man, and to hear from other men who, I think you're already starting to see this, who are in the battle, who are in the fight, who are doing many of the same things you and I are striving to do, and we need to encourage one another. So I hope that's what this is accomplishing. But if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please feel free to direct message me on, probably Instagram would be best. Shoot me a message on there. If not, just shoot me on any of them. I get all those notifications. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas. I hope it's a wonderful time with family, with friends, whatever or whoever you are surrounded by. I hope it's a great and wonderful time for you, and I look forward to seeing you back next week as we encourage you to be better men.